Improve your English with Study Flow English.
Hi everyone, I'm Rachel from Study Flow English, and today we're diving into a fascinating topic that almost everyone experiences when travelling or moving abroad: culture shock. Have you ever arrived in a new country and felt confused? Maybe the way people greet each other is different, or the food tastes unfamiliar, or even simple things like paying for groceries feel strange. That's culture shock, and in this episode, we'll explore what it is, why it happens, and how we can deal with it. Culture shock is the feeling of disorientation you get when you encounter a culture that is very different from your own. It can happen when you move to a new country, travel for the first time, or even when you interact with a community inside your own country that has different customs and values. The term was first used by anthropologist Calavo Oberg in 1960. He described it as the anxiety people feel when all the familiar signs and symbols of social interaction disappear. In other words, it's like your social GPS suddenly stops working. You're in a new environment where the rules are unclear, and that can be both exciting and overwhelming. There are 4 common stages of culture shock. The first is the honeymoon stage. At first, everything feels exciting. The food tastes amazing, the streets look beautiful, and the people seem friendly. You're full of curiosity and adventure. The second is the frustration stage. After a while, the differences start to bother you. Maybe you can't understand the language well, the food feels too strange, or you get frustrated with the way things are done. This is when homesickness often kicks in. The third is the adjustment stage. Slowly, you start to understand the local culture. You learn a few phrases, you know where to buy things, and you begin to accept the differences. The last stage is adaptation. Finally, you feel comfortable. The new culture starts to feel like home. You can navigate daily life without constant stress. These stages aren't always in order. Sometimes you move back and forth between them. Why does culture shock happen? One reason is the loss of familiarity. When we leave our home culture, we lose the daily routines and little habits that make us feel comfortable. Another reason is different social norms. Things like greetings, gestures, eye contact, and even personal space can vary a lot. For example, in some countries, it's common to kiss on the cheek as a greeting, while in others, that would feel strange. Language barriers are also a big factor. Not understanding the language can make even simple tasks stressful. And finally, different values and beliefs. For example, in some cultures, being on time is very important, while in others, people are more relaxed about time. So, how can we deal with culture shock? First, learn the basics before you go. Simple phrases, cultural etiquette, and common gestures can help a lot. Second, stay open-minded. Remember that different doesn't mean wrong. Third, create small routines. Even small habits, like making your morning coffee the same way, can bring comfort. Fourth, find a support system. Connect with locals and other newcomers to share experiences. And finally, give yourself time. Adjustment doesn't happen overnight. Culture shock is a normal and even healthy part of adapting to a new environment. It can be uncomfortable at first, but it's also an opportunity to grow, learn, and see the world from a new perspective. If you've experienced culture shock, I'd love to hear your story. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.